allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
So we'll start first on consideration and action upon.
Yes, we can hear you. Is that
Great.
you, Steph?
Yes.
So
You
can
wanna
I
go
move
back?
to recall
Hey,
our attendance at this time?
well, if she's indicating that she can hear, then you can just note down the time.
Yep, 7:10. Arrival, that's what I've done in the past.
Steph, did I just hear you? Can you say something one more time?
I'm here. Okay.
Perfect.
Yes.
All right, motion to approve study session meeting minutes for February 3rd, 2025, and regular voting minutes for February 10th, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Harris, so moved.
Jacob second.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the second.
Jacob second.
Thanks.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Great. Motion to... That's our only, it says 2B, is that correct? Motion 2B for approval of the treasurer's report as presented. One general fund, February 2025, athletic fund, February 2025, food service fund, February 2025, capital improvement fund, February 2025, student activities fund, February 2025, PA municipal real estate collections, no report and no deposits, MBM delinquent real estate collections, February 2025, Keystone collections, earned income and local service tax collections, February 2025, and general fund approval of bills, Fund 10, February 2025. Do I have a motion?
Harris, so moved.
Chaparro, second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Abstentions? Ayes have it. All right, welcome everybody to our March voting meeting. I did want to mention that at our last study session, we discussed the master planning for the district. I invite people that are listening in the community to listen to that meeting on is it the YouTube channel? Yeah, on the YouTube channel. And if you have any comments, you can please feel free to send an email to the board email. We welcome the public's opinions on this and like your comments. So otherwise, we will keep moving here. All right. We'll move on to finance.
No, first hearing of citizens.
Oh, sorry, first hearing of citizens. Okay, this is an opportunity for public comment in accordance with the law and board procedures and policy. We move into the first hearing of citizens, which is designated for agenda topics only. If you would like to speak, please sign in, come up to the microphone, state your name and address, and please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Please keep in mind that the board does not typically respond to public comment, but rather takes the hearing into consideration for future governance. Also, please realize these comments and meetings are recorded. Anyone? All right. Hearing none, we'll move on to finance now.
Okay. 5A, motion to approve the following change orders and/or invoices in conjunction with Riverview Capital Improvement Project. 1, capital improvements 2022 for project 21-S18-01 in the amount of $1,781.25 for the fitness center to Draw Collective. 2, capital improvements 2024 for project 23-S18-01 in the amount of $4,100 for basic services to Draw Collective. And number 3, capital improvements 2024 for project 23-S18-01 in the amount of $4,500 for basic services to Draw Collective. Do I have a motion?
Harris will move. Ooh. Yeah.
Wilson.
Second?
Are they supposed to be duplicates?
Yeah, it's two. Those are two different draws.
Okay, that's not the same. I'm just making, okay, sorry.
Right? Yeah, they're two different draws.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you.
Yep. Discussion? All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it.
Want me to go, Brent?
Okay, 5B. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
Can I ask that this one be pulled out before? That's why I was like, I slowed down on the first one.
I separated it in 2 parts.
Oh, perfect.
I did part 1, and then I
Yay.
separated part 2 for you, if that was okay.
Yeah,
Thank you.
that's what I was going to ask.
I was thinking about that.
Thank you.
Let's try to make it easier. So no motion for me, Antonio, then, right?
No.
Okay, great.
All right, go ahead, Brian.
Okay, 5B, Part 1, motion to approve the following contracts agreements subject to final review and approval of solicitor. Revised contract with Recupero Inc. for school years 2024, 2025, 2026 due to the turf installation. Item 2, contract agreement with Wesley School for student X for 2024-25 school year. Number 3, contract agreement with Seneca Valley School District for cyber school services for the 2025 through 2030 school years. Number 4, contract agreements with Meadows Psychiatric Center for 2025, 2026 and 2026, 2027 school years. And number 5, contract agreement for a 5-year contract July 1, 2025 through June 30th, 2030 with Shank Waste Services. Do I have a motion?
Wilton.
Jacob second.
Siri second.
Oh, Siri's fine.
Okay. Any discussion?
No, I just had a minor panic when I heard 2030 because I was like, that's so far away, but it's really not. Wishful thinking.
I still think it's like 2002.
All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? Any abstentions? Ayes have it. Okay, 5B, Part 2, motion to approve the following contracts agreements subject to final review and approval of the solicitor. Item 6, agreement with Allegheny Intermediate Unit, IDEA, Part B, use of funds agreement for 2025-2026 school year. 7, agreement with AIU, notice of adoption of approved LEA policies, procedures, and use of funds by Riverview School District for the 2025-2026 school year. And number 8, 2025-2026 AIU Program of Services Finance Division. The administration recommends the board approve the proposed 2025-2026 Allegheny Intermediate Unit Program of Services budget in the amount of $2,361,050. The Allegheny County School District total contribution to the budget is $1,984,536. The Riverview School District contribution to the program's budget is estimated to be $21,118. The district's final withholding allocation will be based on the district aid ratio and weighted average daily membership. The withholding allocation will be determined by the Pennsylvania Department of Education sometime after July 1, 2025. Do I have a motion?
Sorry, I'll make that motion.
Chaparro second.
Any discussions?
Our number seems a lot better than the first number.
It only goes up.
Okay, here.
$100.
Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any, I'm sorry, any opposed? Any abstentions?
I have to abstain as I'm not a board member of the Allegheny Intermediate Unit.
Okay, ayes have it. And then part C. 5C, motion to approve the following contracts, agreements, subject to final review and approval of the solicitor. Acceptance audit, Riverview School District financial audit for 2023-2024, prepared by Justin Bancheri of Hosack Specht, Mutzler, and Wood LLP with no adverse findings. Do I have a motion?
Milton.
Jacob second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Any abstentions? All right, the ayes have it. Thank you.
Thank you. I don't think there's any student life items to vote on this time. So we'll move on to education. Schutz?
Please bear with me and I'll turn off. I'll try and mute myself. 7A, motion to approve education items as presented. 1, participation in the Academic Games League of America Incorporated National Tournament to be held April 25th, 2025 to April 28th, 2025 in Washington, D.C. under the direction of Dr. Michael McNally. Number 2, the Riverview School District 2025 to 2028 Comprehensive Plan, Gifted Education Plan, Chapter 16, Induction Plan, Chapter 49, Professional Development Plan, Act 48, and Student Services Assurances, Chapter 12, to submit to the PA Department of Education for final approval. May I have a motion?
Can you read that again, Aaron?
So moved.
That's,
Wilton, second.
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Any abstentions? Motion passes and Roger now has to read everything.
I would have done it for you.
All right. So, next we're on to board governance. Motion for approval. How do I word that? To say as
Very second.
Someone who's seconds.
We're on the
Second and
second.
third and final for everybody.
Oh, yeah, I see the next, third and final, yeah.
Any discussion on any of these?
I apologize, who was the second?
Who's the second?
Siri.
Oh, Bridget.
I wanted to ask if Roger could read all of them.
The policies, right, not just the name.
All of it, yeah.
Already buckled.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Then moving on to personnel. Motion 9A, motion for approval of personnel items as presented. Resignation due to retirement of employee ID 8465, teacher, effective June 30th, 2025. 2, resignation due to retirement of employee ID 8381, teacher, effective June 12th, 2025. 3, for the intermittent FMLA for employee ID 8475 for the 2024-2025 school year. 4, individuals with Precision HR Solutions, Inc. as substitutes for the 2024-2025 school year pending any certification requirements. A, Shane Copeland, custodian. And 5, unpaid leave according to board policy 339 for the following paraprofessionals. A, employee ID 8399 due to family obligation, 2 days. And B, employee ID 9181 due to medical reasons, 2 days. Do I have a motion?
Harris, so moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Great. And then motion 9B, motion for approval of personnel items as presented. 1, to approve the following athletic coaches and volunteer coaches for the 2024-2025 school year, pending any clearance certification and/or health requirements. A, Stacy Galata, assistant coach, unified bocce. B, Mike McNally, track coach, assistant. And 2, the 2024-2025 athletic event workers as detailed below, pending any clearance certification and/or health requirements. A, Kathy Hornsby. B, Johnny Simone. And C, Colton Lohman. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Harris, second.
Any discussion? Okay, hearing none. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Ayes have it. Great. And this is the time now for our second hearing of citizens. If you'd like to speak, please sign in, come up to the microphone, state your name and address. Please keep your comments to 3 minutes or less. Keep in mind that the board does not typically respond to public comment, but rather takes the hearing into consideration for future governance. Realize the comments and meetings are recorded. All the
Hi.
time.
How are you? Paula Thompson, 234 3rd Street, Foot 1. 2, 3. I know.
It's memorized.
It's not saved. Resignation due to retirement, different from years ago when we were making some cuts, where we were eliminating for budgetary reasons positions. So these, there'll be postings for these positions, right? Anytime someone's retired, it's just, I'm always fearful. Remember a couple years back when we had to eliminate some stuff, they said once we eliminate, we'll never get those, positions back. So jobs, right? So if I know teachers, tell them to apply, right? Okay. Thank you.
Anything else? Okay, so we'll move into committee reports. Finance committee, we had a committee meeting, our first committee meeting on March 5th. It was kind of a basic introduction to the issues with budget coming up. The meeting is online. I recommend people listen in. Sheila gave a lot of good information about just increased costs coming up and, just what we need to consider as we go into the budget season. The minutes are posted from that meeting. I don't think there's anything else really to share at this point. We're having another meeting on May 5th, I think. But, and that's open to the public as well. So, Brian, do you have anything?
No, that was it.
Just double check.
Checking the finance meeting.
I have to take the 5th now off of the website.
Great.
Sorry, I'll just double check. So it's weird here. So we both. Pretty sure it is May, I just want to double check that. May 7th, Wednesday, May 7th.
Wednesday, May 7th.
Wednesday, May 7th.
Okay, education.
Just a few points from our schools, from 10th Street, from Dr. Zolkowski. During the first 3 weeks of January, all students took the second eye-ready diagnostic for the school year. We've seen great progress in math and reading thus far, from fall to winter. On Thursday, February 13th, 5th graders, under the guidance and leadership of Mrs. Henry, put together a living wax museum. All 65 students presented presidents, first ladies, scientists, and other famous and historical figures. We had over 45 science projects of students from both Verner and 10th Street at the second annual science fair, which was held on Friday, February 28th, 2025. I will tell you, I went to that and it was very impressive what our very young scientists are doing and thinking about, and they were very well presented and well poised in talking about their discussions, their projects. So very proud of them for that. Pittsburgh CLA will be back at 10th Street on Wednesday, March 26th as part of their Innovators program. This is an in-line assembly for the burner. And the marking period is Thursday, March 27th. Teachers continue to utilize the calming spot in each classroom, part of their elementary SEL initiatives. These areas are designed to help students self-regulate in place to calm down if needed. At Verner, they had an Alpha-Stan assembly for the 4th grade, visit from one of Pittsburgh's premier environmental and public health organizations. Sing Fest, 3 students, Ben Stimmel, Allison Chigano, and Gabby Mooring are accompanying Mr. Hart to Plum High School to join with other elementary schools in a singing competition. They did have the science fair again, that was 3rd, 6th graders with the 10th Street students. In a dental assembly from AB Orthodontics, visited the 2nd graders to teach the importance of proper brushing and flossing, and visiting the dentist by age 7. Read Across America, they celebrated with special dress down days through the week, mystery readers and book buddies. Field trip K-12 got a special treat for Read Across America by visiting the local Giant Eagle, where they were greeted by Thing 1 and Thing 2, given cookies decorated like green eggs, and a tour of the different departments. The geology assembly, Verner 1st graders had a special visit from one of their fellow classmates' grandfather, Mr. Ron, with geology. And Duquesne Light had an assembly for the 2nd grade to participate in learning about not only how electricity works, but the safety factors. The junior senior high school classroom observations will be complete by the end of the month, and final continuous improvement plan meetings are in progress. Gearing up for testing season prep for the BSSAs and Keystones are in full swing, identifying small groups, assigning rooms, and preparing for teacher meetings. Scheduling master schedule completed, student schedules run, school counselors meeting with individuals review and modules rising seniors this week, particularly PA College and Career CEW standard that are state required for graduation. Most student activities are complete for the school year, and seniors have their mock interviews completed last week. I-Ready assessments, the third administration was scheduled for 325 to 327 before the PSSA Keystones for the 7th and 8th grade testing to help identify any gaps that may need addressed before the end of the year. And yesterday was National History Day presentations at the Heinz History Center. End of report.
Thank you, Erin. Feel better. And safety?
We met on February 20th. There was just one report from the high school, none at 10th and Verner, for workers' comp reports. That's what we discussed. And we're going to meet again March 20th, 3:15, central office. That's it.
All right. Roger, student life, or Antonio?
All report was given last week by the administration, so nothing to report this evening.
Okay. And policy committee?
No report. We have a meeting upcoming to go over the next section of policies from the committee and then from admin. So
Do you want a soft sort of, or April 5th, right?
Yeah.
So you want to like sort of pick a tentative date to exchange? What are you guys thinking? Maybe you want to do like
At least a week prior for
April, well, how about March?
it's not the
March
the
30th?
5th? The 5th is Saturday.
No, it's not the 5th. Hold on, let me look.
It's the 9th.
There we go.
April 9th? Is that it? Yes.
Yeah, that's what I have it.
Okay.
So maybe like April 2nd.
April 2nd?
Yeah.
Perfect. I will make sure we're ready for that. Thank you. April 2nd.
And PSBA liaison?
Yeah, so there's the Cyber Charter School Performance Report was sent to all of the school districts and solicitors. I know that the AIU also drafted a letter to our legislatures on behalf of the district schools in Allegheny County in regards to cyber charter reform. As some of the board members may know, but the community may not, a great deal of expenditures go towards students who enroll in cyber charter schools. The public schools bear the brunt of those costs, while they can be higher, or typically are a lot higher than what our public schools are allocated for in terms of our average or our day-to-day students in the funding that we receive. They typically charge significantly more, yet again, the public schools are the ones who bear the brunt of forwarding those costs onto the cyber charter schools. So it's great for parents and families that need access to cyber charter schools, but it does place a huge burden on districts like ourselves, where we're small, we're trying to collect taxes and revenues, but we can only do so much with the limited amount of people that we have, and so we're stuck in raising taxes or cutting certain things or not funding our overall expenditures for the school district. I know that they are looking at that more, and it's definitely one of the forefronts of public education funding. So we'll see kind of what our legislatures do with that. There's also a student leader scholarship that was available through the PSBA. I do think that they may extend the deadline. The regular deadline was March 14th. I do believe that there are still scholarships that can be applied for and that they may, like I said, extend it. So you can look on psbatrust.org for students who are visiting or attending that may want those scholarship opportunities. In terms of events that are happening also for PSBA, they would like us to know that on April 1st, they're doing a virtual AI in education, the next chapter. It is for both parents, board directors, teachers, administrators, all of the like. April 4th, they're also doing a virtual spring legal roundup. This is typically for solicitors of district schools like ourselves, or other professionals or administrators that deal in the legal realm. They go over a lot of the changes, such as changes to Title IX, etc., that are going to affect schools, and then public schools, I should say. And then April 14th, PSBA headquarters is having an ethics act, how to stay out of the papers, to just go over what schools can do to limit exposure in terms of negativity and promote positive exposure. And that's all.
Thank you. Jen, communications and marketing?
Since beginning of March, we attended some additional senior nights. I think this one was on the previous one as well, for boys basketball, as well as the other winter sport before that. We've also updated the athletics website with winter sports photos, stories across the top, and then also updated some of the graphics and thumbnails and things that were needing to be done. So we are trying to do that seasonally, if not more often. Also uploaded finance committee meeting to the district YouTube page, which was mentioned earlier. Also the big sort of layout project is the draft of the reader-friendly 2025-2028 strategic plan, which is the 8-page version that's designed with photos and things like that. That's the sort of smaller subset from the comprehensive plan that we submit to the state. Also generated many posts for the Facebook page and Twitter or X, including board meeting announcements, Riverview Spring Musical, 10th Street's Living Wax Museum, the grand reopening of 10th Street and Verner's Turf Playgrounds, and the first ever Court Clash basketball tournament, and senior mock interviews. Several other pages were updated on the website, including the superintendent's bulletin, homepage, slideshow, musical tab, lunch menus, and the junior-senior homepage as well. And other stories were added to the news section, including Model UN team attending the University of Pittsburgh Asia Challenge, the junior high wrestlers qualifying for junior states, 10th Street students with the Living Wax Museum, and Riverview students participating in the regional EJAS competition. So we're continuing to gain traction on the social channels and update on all of the other different communication outlets as well. And if there's any questions or anything we missed, by all means, let us know.
Great, thank you. Stephanie Forbes.
Yeah, thank you. Sorry, this up. We had 7 students overall from Forbes go to Hershey after their Skills USA competitions. We had 2 Riverview students place at our District A competitions. Ella Fabianic took 2nd place in medical terminology, and Anthony, excuse me for saying this wrong, Jadlowick, took 3rd place in automotive services. NOCTI testing will be tomorrow. Industry experts will be involved helping judge students, the seniors, and based on the criteria given by the CTC instructor. I have the opportunity to help do the judging for the vet tech class, so that'll be exciting. I did it last year. It's really interesting what all they get to learn, and I got to learn. Spring open house was last week on March 14th. May 14th will be the certificate ceremony, and it will be held at Gateway. There'll be a career signing day at PNC Park, similar to what students do with colleges. These students will be doing with their respective employers, and they'll be signing with them and be given a ticket to go to the baseball game that day. I believe that is April 8th, if I'm correct, or if I'm wrong. And one last thing, there's a computer tech class, I think it's computer security. They started a program a year and a half ago to take the students to help the VA Center, the residents of the VA Center, just with technical support. And recently a resident asked the students if they could help him write a letter. They found out he didn't have a computer, so the students all wanted to pitch in and get a laptop for him. Thankfully, one of the instructors knew of a program called Twilight Wish, similar to Make-A-Wish. And they put an application for him to get a laptop, and they will be presenting that to him. And he didn't have it already, so a lot of neat things that they get to do and participate in. So yeah, thank you.
Okay, thank you. Bridget with legislative?
Okay. Not very much to report this month. There hasn't been a lot of action in the state legislature or with the governor. I reported on his budget address last month. Most notably, Senator Lindsey Williams, who serves across the river from, Fawn all the way to Shaler and north, presented a bill she would like to get passed asking for a moratorium on cyber charter schools. So what that means is that they would not provide any additional charters for any additional cyber charters. So you would one that's already existing, or like at Riverview, we have our own charter, cyber charter. So you could attend our cyber programming that we contract Seneca Valley to help us facilitate. So there are still a lot of options, including most districts have their own cyber charters. So you don't necessarily have to go outside of your school district. Other than that, obviously, a lot of people may be aware, last week, the Department of Education staff was cut by about 50%. What the results of that in regard to future funding for Title I and our special ed programming that we are provided any funding for is yet to be determined. So I will continue to monitor that. And that's all I have.
Great, thank you. Roger, anything for Eastern area?
Nothing for Eastern area. I was regrettably absent from the last meeting. I was out of town, but I did reach out to Valerie, and there was nothing of note to call out, unless Dr. English, you had anything you wanted to bring up?
No major updates.
Yeah. Thank you.
Great. And our solicitor's report.
Yes, I updated the board on student and personnel matters, including the RESPA negotiations in executive session. I have nothing for the public meeting.
Great. Okay. Does anybody have anything else? Great. And an executive meeting was held prior to the meeting on Monday, March 17th to discuss RESPA contract negotiations, special education matters, and IT director of personnel. An executive meeting was also held prior to the meeting on Monday, March 10th to discuss contract negotiations, AIU media contracts and services, personnel matters, legal matters, and receive information. All right, if there's nothing else, do I have a motion to adjourn?
Harrison moves.
I'll make that motion.